Let's have a look at logging into mobile devices. So we'll first go into the iPad. I'll log in as obviously as my name and a hidden password. And you'll see in a few seconds you'll be presented with the agenda page. That's our choice from our desktop app as we're going to log in. Again, date driven. So if I take the year back a little bit or the date back a bit, you'll see we have a list of agenda identical to what we had on the desktop application. So it's absolutely identical. If we click on the little tab along the top left-hand corner, you get the navigation bar, which will allow you to get access to the other tables, which basically means contacts, candidates, companies, and jobs. So we'll go into candidates. Here's our Roy Rogers. Let's have a look at his record. And you'll notice it's identical to the desktop version we were looking at earlier, with the same details and notes, communications, job matches, etc. To create a new comms log, obviously click on the plus button and you can create a note simply and easily just from there. You can scroll up and down and you can edit this data to your heart's content. You'll see that the information is identical and very, very easy to view, very simple, very clear on the eye. And the logo, the image of the candidate is on the top left-hand corner as well. Editing, clicking on the edit button will pop you into a slightly different view, but you can edit all the fields as if you're on your keyboard or your general desktop app, and you can add from drop downs just as you can from the desktop app. It's very, very easy to use. When you're happy with that, just click the go back button and you're back to the layout you were on before. It's very simple. Viewing maps works the same way. Just click on the icon, it pops up a Google map right in front of you where you can view that map location for the address, and you can edit any of the fields or do searches as we do now for, say, Peter up the top right hand corner. And now we find all the records that have Peter involved in it, and you can view them as if they're ordinary records just from a search. You can search for anything. So let's go and search for Roy again. That'll take us back to that Roy record, and to show all data, you just search for a star, and all the records will appear. And you can scroll through them, as I say. Anything can be searched on, so you can search on anything, the current job title, etc. Let's have a look at companies now. Companies is very similar. All the tables are exactly the same. So we'll look at companies. Same, you can scroll through, you can search in the top right hand corner, and you can click on the arrow next to a record to view that record's details, which is what we'll do now. So we'll choose that record. Scroll down, you'll see same thing. You've got some portals there with company contacts and communication logs, and you can go back and forth as you wish from that area. If we go into contacts, the same thing appears in the contacts. You have a list of contacts. Any candidates that are also registered as contacts will also be there. As you saw, they're highlighted as well. And we can now look at the jobs, which will also follow the same concept of lists of records that you can scroll through, and you can search on the top right-hand corner as with any other part of this iPad application. So let's look at a job, for example. We'll go into a job. You've got the general details of a job, just as right down to the training, the tags, everything's all stored, even the communication logs and the match candidates as well, all sitting there for viewing. And you can go from a matched candidate directly to the candidate, view those candidates, and then go back into jobs, just the way you would in any other part of the database system. The navigation bar, the top left-hand corner, will take you back to where you started at any time, and you can create an event from the top right-hand corner by simply clicking on the plus button. It really is that simple and very easy to use. The iPad is used as a referencing tool. The iPhone is exactly the same as well. When you first log in, again, date-driven. You can also choose consultants, and you can choose a different date range, so you can view that information. It's exactly the same data you were looking at from the iPad and on the desktop app, all running in exactly the same way and function in exactly the same way. As you could see there, you could view the date details, and you can now open up the navigation bar, and you can go and have a look at some of the other records like candidates. Roy Rogers' record will be exactly the same, and you'll see all the data right down to the portals for the comms logs at the bottom as well. And again, from here, you can create a note or a different sort of comms log right from that little navigation button. So it's really, really simple and easy to use. And clicking on the job matches will take you to the jobs as it did on the iPad, as it does on the desktop app, where you can view the information. And again, you've got the candidates where you can scroll backwards and forwards and view those records. You can search the way you could on the iPad as well, so you can type in a record and have a look at them, or you can search directly for a name or for any other person. Same with the jobs. Click on the jobs, it will present you with a list of jobs, and again you can scroll through these records and change the information or share the information or view the information just as you could with any other part of this database. So let's have a little look with the jobs. As we saw earlier, you can scroll all the way through. This is a job that's obviously got some information there, a little bit more populated, and it's really simple to use. Go back to your agenda, and that's how the iPhone works.